Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a pretty interesting episode for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. So please make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, yesterday, man, we ended up producing a lot of shows on our channel yesterday, and a lot of people really seem to enjoy the shows that we produced yesterday. However, I believe the last video we produced was centered on NBA fans basically complaining that they were sick and tired of LeBron James stat padding, right? They were tired of it, right? And fans started to argue about it online. And and after posting the show, I was, we were reading through some of the comments, and we saw that a lot of people were like, thank you for saying this. Finally, somebody's saying this. Thank you for pointing this out. Thank you for pointing this out. This has been going on for years. Thank you for pointing. So we're producing the show for these people, really, right? We produce these shows for people that support the content, like the content, and also the haters. They're going to come regardless, right? They're usually the first or second people to comment in one of these videos whenever we publish them. But this morning I woke up and I checked my Instagram. And by the way, if you guys are not following us on Instagram, our Instagram handle is Dreamerspro at Instagram. And also my personal one is CTABANZ. And they sent us, we kept on getting messages with people sending us a particular video from a segment yesterday on, First Things First with Chris Broussard, Nick Wright, and the other gentleman who was named Wiles. I forgot his name, but I think that's his first name. So in this particular segment, they were reacting to the Lakers' first loss against the Golden State Warriors, and they were saying a bunch of things. But towards a certain part of it, Chris Broussard said something very, very interesting. Very, very interesting that I'm sure a lot of people didn't pick up on. But before we get into his comments, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we want to play what Chris Broussard had to say here. We want you guys to pay close attention to what he's at, what he said, so you can understand the reason we're producing the show. So take a listen to what he had to say here, and then we're going to come back and react to it. Take a listen to that.
So that's number one. Here's the question I have about LeBron, because obviously his numbers were fantastic, 31, 14, and 8. But he had zero impact on the game.
I don't think anyone could have impacted that game yesterday.
Well, the old LeBron could have. And this is where you see the decline.
Sure.
He's smart enough and skilled enough to still get his numbers in an NBA where it's easier to score than it used to be. But he's pacing himself. And I'm not saying he's not a top 10 or top 8 player like you said, but I'm watching this because he didn't look like a top 10 player last night. Even though the numbers were great, he had no impact at all on that game.
No Lakers discussion matters until they trade Russ. None of it matters. And I don't know that trading, it's not just about getting Russ off the team, Wilds, but it's also about trying to find some shooting. And I know everyone talks about Hield and Turner. There are going to be teams that decide to turn the ship the other direction, Wilds, and tank. And whether it's Utah's already doing it, Portland if it goes badly, they're going to trade Russ at some point, and then we'll see what the Lakers team looks like.
What if it goes the other way?
So you heard what Chris had to say. He said, LeBron is savvy enough to find a way to get his numbers in this league that is easier to score in. Now, why is that important? It is important because of this. the narrative surrounding LeBron is going to be the longevity stats, right? It's going to be the longevity stats, which are he's going to end up being the all-time leader in points, I believe, maybe top 5 in assists or something like that, right? And his zealots are going to go out there and they're going to be preaching the gospel of, oh, this is why he's great, and this is why he's great, and this is why he's great. And what I said yesterday in that show, I'm going to reiterate it here today. LeBron figured out maybe 10 years ago, he figured out a formula to kind of circumvent criticism. And the formula is this. As long as I can put up great numbers and I still lose, I will be able to kind of escape through any kind of criticism. If y'all don't believe me, I believe it was in the year 2011, after the Miami Heat got slapped in the NBA Finals, a lot of people were criticizing LeBron. Like, a lot of people were coming at him at that time. I remember that. And he was spotted somewhere in the summertime with a shirt that basically said, check my stats. If you don't believe me, you guys can go out there and Google it. Now, why will LeBron put on a shirt that says check my stats? The reason he put on that shirt was basically to say, we lost, but I played well. Yeah, we lost, but I don't really see why you're blaming me because I played very, very well. So the focus no longer becomes about winning and losing. It becomes about the individual stats. That's what it's about. And that's the formula. And that's what Chris Broussard has figured out. And that's what's going that's what happened last year. How did LeBron escape all of that criticism last year? What was his number one calling card? He was 36 years old, and what? He averaged 30 points. That's the talking point. But if you also paid attention to some of the things that Chris Broussard said, he said this. He said his numbers are absolutely, they have zero impact or close to zero impact on winning. They're what you call empty calories. Those numbers cannot really affect a game. But when you have these zealots out there crafting their mission, their argument, their mission statements, what they're going to do is they're going to take that number and say, look, this is why he was great. They're like, but he lost. But look, what else could he have done? Look at the number. If he didn't put up these numbers, how else could they have won? That's their formula. The problem is a good amount of us see through you guys with that. And we're going to call it out. And it seems to be the issue seems to be that y'all have a problem whenever we call it out. And my question is why? Why? Should we just sit here and remain quiet and not say anything about it? Why? Why would we do that? They're like, no, you shouldn't say that, man. You shouldn't point it out. You're a hater. No, I'm not a hater. I'm just pointing out something that we noticed. And that's going to be the narrative this season. It's not going to be about winning. They have no chance in winning. It's already about excuses, and they've already started. What are the latest ones? Oh, Rob Pelinka needs to be fired. This guy it's going to be bad. They have no shooting. Nobody's talking about defense. Oh, what's going to be this? We don't have lasers. We don't have this. We don't have that. We don't have lightsabers. We don't got all of this stuff. We got to figure it out. It's all excuses. It's all excuses. And a lot of people are going to look at those numbers and they're going to feel like, oh, this guy is really, really great. Look at the numbers he put up, when in reality he's not. Kawhi Leonard is going to come back and probably average 25 points a game and have more impact on winning than LeBron. Chris Paul puts up decent numbers, but he has a greater impact on winning. So what we figured out is that even one of the biggest supporters in Chris Broussard also realizes LeBron's tactic, which is, as long as I get my numbers, no one will criticize me. What a way to do it. Unbelievable. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next episode.